Definitely theatrical.
Neil, get the cone in the middle. Nobody has ever rocked a chain on the race suit quite like this. Look who we found in the paddock.
What's up, guys?
What is up, guys? There's sunshine. I've got a pickup truck and I'm in a t-shirt. So we're not in Ireland, we're in America for stop one of the LZ World Tour this weekend. It's going to be a massive one in Bakersfield. So we're going to hit the road, find some adventures, see what happens. Alright, before we get into today's video, I want to give you guys some updates on some exciting stuff happening in 2 weeks' time. We are going to be revealing our Liberty Walk Lamborghini at Dubshed, which is on April 6th and 7th at the Acon Centre in Northern Ireland. We'll bring in our new truck, we'll bring in our new A90 Supra with a new look, the GTR, the S15, all the fleet, but most importantly, at 1 PM on the Saturday, we are revealing the Liberty Walk Lamborghini.
The house from...
That's not the house from Fast and the Furious, that got blown up in the film, Josh. That's an accurate film. How could the house still exist? Come on. Turns out they don't even sell tuna sandwiches here. It's just all bullshit.
Okay, so we've arrived at our first location and pretty impressive one.
I have no words.
Definitely have no words.
Far more expensive all-carbon car than I own. We are here at Hyper NFT headquarters to see our good friend Dean Kearney. Dean has been over 10 years in the US competing in Formula Drift, you guys know him, and they're getting the cars ready for this weekend at the LZ World Tour. We have never been to Dean's place before, so we said, well, we've got a chance, going to Bakersfield. We have no idea what's in here, but he said, you're gonna be a little bit impressed.
No exceptions.
Hello, Dean. The sign here is, everything about it seems official, except when your name is on it, I don't believe any of it.
Good to see you. How are you, Josh?
All right.
I'm shocked that you stopped.
Hey.
I thought you'd do the Irish.
This is where magic happens. Just have a little look.
That's yeah.
There's a few cars.
What were we? So this is where you basically build all of your. How many Vipers have you now?
Five. We've
Five
on, yeah.
Vipers.
That's too many Vipers for one man.
Actually, this is a fact. I own more Vipers than there is Vipers registered in Ireland. I was coming home from a family holiday with my father and my mother, and I was 4 years old, and my dad stopped at 4 in the morning at Auto Holden in Waterford, and there was a Viper on the turntable in there, and he stopped and woke up myself, my older brother, took us out of the car, and we walked up, and I'm up against the window like this. And that's my earliest memory of a Viper.
Obsession of all these things.
Yeah.
Well, always remember, guys, that a lot of people will look at Dean drifting Vipers and Formula Drift and go, it's really difficult to drift them. They're a very unusual chassis. But can you imagine if it was a 911 that he was trying to do for the last 10, 15 years?
I'm trying to work on that one as well.
So if you guys aren't aware, a bit like the Corvette, they break down very dramatically the American chassis.
Yeah.
So that if this was an S15, you'd be 6 months away from finishing it.
Yeah,
but
like,
these cars go together quite quick.
you see it actually like this, and it looks like it's miles away, but it basically comes apart actually like this after every race. It's about 12 hours of disassembly, 40 hours of going through it, and then another 20 hours to put it back together. So more or less 2 weeks is what it takes us to.
I find it funny that it's 2 weeks till Long Beach, isn't it?
2 weeks.
2.
And somehow all year round, and then it comes to the last 2 weeks, and it's like.
That is a very typical drifter thing, as you know. But we've been working on other projects, and like it's always been, yeah, we'll get on it next week, we'll get on it, and then we realized about a month ago, hey, there ain't no fucking time left. Like we actually have to start getting on it. So yeah.
Like if you look at any other like car that's put together, it's such a basic amount of chassis.
Yep.
Like you've got top mount, bottom mount, coat of arms, this thing connecting basically your strut tower, and that's it. That's the whole chassis of the car.
There's actually another one up there. There's actually a cut in half one.
It's like, and I always say about the Corvette, if you take a Corvette chassis down, it's like 2 RSJs.
That's what it is.
And then also you've got a lot of space here because you have a V12 in there.
V10, Dave.
V10,
Come
my
on,
mistake.
Dave. Come on, Dave.
V10.
Come on, man. Get in the exotic world, will you? Come on.
The one thing that's cool about this is that I can see from the development through all the different Vipers that you've got, as you go along, figuring stuff out quite a lot. And again, you're the only one drifting a Viper at the moment in the whole world, right?
Only one in the world, as far as I know. But we have developed absolutely everything, even the suspension uprights, the brake discs, hats, all the control arms, coilovers, sway bars. We developed absolutely everything from scratch.
So what Dean is saying is when he goes to a Formula Drift event and he breaks something, he's not having a conversation with anybody else for parts because no one else has any parts. But while we're here, because I know a lot of guys who watch our channel have seen all of this.
Yep.
I'm a little bit more, like, we're drifters and we love drifting, but what's over here, I'm just trying to concentrate on your Vipers when you're talking there, but I'm just looking through.
Two of us will always be drifters at heart.
But this is another level.
I'm a car guy still.
Yeah. So this is a collection of supercars. They're just hanging out here in the same space as your drift team.
Yep. Hyper NFT owns 95% of the cars in here. I do all the maintenance, prep, and basically collection management or whatever.
He says that casually, but when you look over the shoulder, there's like, this is the bee's knees of...
You know what's funny? It's almost like everything. When you see it every day, I walk past it every day and I just get in the RS6. Because it's like, oh, this is comfortable.
That's one thing that I would say, we see a lot of collections all over the world. And it's always the guy who owns this arrives in a Range Rover.
Yeah.
And he's just like, so before we go past it, what is this?
Oh, this is the only thing I absolutely hate in here. I don't even want to buy it.
I love this.
This is up
I
your
love
street.
this.
I know
this.
this is yours. This was their promo car. And it doesn't run. We've put more time into this than anything else in the workshop and I still can't make it run. And it literally is a carburetor, so it needs power on the alternator and someone to pour petrol in it, and that's it. That still doesn't run.
I love how we didn't even get to the supercars. I'm like, I like this old thing that looks really like Mad Max. Oh, there you go. This is a bit of me now.
It could be yours, bud. I'd hate to see you walk out of here with nothing.
From one extreme to the other extreme. There's a Rolls Royce Phantom, and then there's like a bunch of very, very expensive stuff here and rare stuff.
Yep.
It's like 3 GT3 RSs.
Dave, you can't.
This thing though, the Apollo, right?
The Apollo,
do you want to know an interesting fact? I hope you can pull this footage up, right? We were actually at the launch of this car in Saudi Arabia for no reason other than we just happened to be there, and we were looking at the car for about 20 minutes going, this can't be a real car. And we were going, it's the maddest looking thing I've ever seen in my life. And then there's a very famous YouTuber called Mr. JWW. Yep. And then for some reason, Josh interviewed Mr. JWW, James, about this car with absolutely no knowledge of what it was. And it was this weird interview where Josh didn't know what to ask him because he knew nothing. And the guy was just explaining it. And I was like, and we were like, what are we doing here? And we're in this fake lawn in the middle of the desert. And I was like, I think they think we're journalists that are come to cover the car, but we didn't. We just happened to be standing around when it was happening.
It's very mad. Yeah, it's mad.
But it is one of the coolest looking cars I think I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, it is honestly the most dangerous car you can drive, and not because the car is crazy. It's when you pass anyone on the street, they get so hyper focused on you in the car, they start to drift into you and they're looking at you, and you're like, go away, go away.
That's not even a seat.
No, it's a launcher.
Could slip right in there.
It's not exactly a car you'd be bringing your girlfriend out to dinner in if she was wearing a dress.
Oh,
I'd
no,
not be too happy getting
wrong.
out. Yep, you done it wrong.
There we go.
I actually don't ever think I've heard the horn in this car. I think
I'm
that
gonna
was
be
the
honest,
actual first time.
It's the only thing unimpressive about the whole car.
It's Volkswagen. It sounded like a Volkswagen horn.
It's definitely the most aggressive rear end of a car in existence, bar none.
Oh yeah. Well,
like,
there's no bumper.
like what is going on? Never don't think we'll ever say this again. Cold starting a one of one Apollo in LA.
That's.
Sounds like a phone. Jesus.
That is outrageous.
definitely theatrical.
That's one way of saying it
That
there.
is the politest way I've ever heard. I can't hear anything.
Yeah, it's a straight pipe Ferrari V12 NA. Makes 860 at the tyre.
Everything looks like it's so expensive. I just feel like it would be terrifying to drive it.
You know, like, yes.
There's only one answer for that.
I'm trying to find, because you go, that's a very cool car, that's a very cool car. And I find on these videos all it goes, ooh, 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 that's all I can do because everything here just looks ridiculous.
But there's a big ooh.
There is a Senna. It says it on the door.
The regular Senna's outside, the Senna GTR. 75 of them made. One of 3 cars to go back to Conte in the UK and be converted into a street car. So it's actually got lift and indicators and everything.
So this is road legal.
This is registered on a UK plate, mate.
There's the yellow reg.
Let's say the VRT boys would love this coming into the yard now. This was a race car.
Yep.
That was sent back from America to UK to be converted into a road car.
They were backed on the conversion for 350 grand to put in lift, indicators, very, very basic stuff. And then they flew it back and then he sold it for less money than he was after putting into it and never turned a mile on.
Gosh, sorry Dean, just talk about yourself. So what I'm thinking is, right, me and you could fit indicators, right, and a lift kit.
Did you hear 300 grand?
50 grand. I reckon we could put 20 indicators on it for 350 grand. So just saying, if there's a business for us there, I think the indicators and that on a Senna. Now, there's a small market, I'm not going to lie.
There's not many people. How many of these cars is there?
And you get like the trailer boards and stick it on the back.
on the back, off of Brian James, couple of LEDs. She'd be mint. Speaking of rare cars,
The best car on the planet. I've been very fortunate to drive in almost every hypercar, and hands down, the best car. Bugatti Pure Sport is just like, they just got everything right.
and it looks fantastic.
It looks fantastic. It's not just a car that like people are flexing. The engineering and thought process of the way they build them, to me, is what fascinates me about them.
Just keep moving. We're getting distracted because there's a lot to take in here.
2 SVJs.
Both SVJs. I've never even seen an SVJ up close. Now there's 2 of them. Amount of, and I mean, it is a theatrical car, as you would say. There's a lot going on. Like from that moment to that moment, there's about 450 vents and lines and everything.
They have a lot of overheating problems, so I just think their theory was, let's not solve the problem, let's just add more
vents
hatches
everywhere.
Well, have you seen the videos of them going on fire? All they do is rev and go on fire.
That's majority of Aventadors. You are dead right. The SVJ is the only one they fixed because they put the exhaust actually outside the bodywork.
But they knew everyone's just going to rev them.
Yes, because that's what you do.
I love it. That's all you do.
Hurricane, in every way, is 10 times better car. Like, everything it does is better. It's faster, the gearbox is better, it handles better, you can actually see out of it and stuff. But it does have the doors that go up.
The doors
and,
go
like,
up are important.
the sound of the V12 is, it's hard to argue with it. Like, hop in, actually, the headroom is ridiculous.
Hop in there, will you?
Glamorous, mate, come on.
Was that your English accent?
Taking a piss out of you, Josh. I've been doing it for the last 25 minutes, you didn't come on.
No, not really.
There's no headroom, is there?
What? How do you get in this?
It's ridiculous.
If this car flipped, I wouldn't move.
It looks claustrophobic in that.
The rear view mirror takes up, no exaggeration, 87% of the view out the front window.
Absolutely.
It also looks back to nothing but spoiler.
Window is the same size as the mirror.
Sees nothing.
Sees nothing, yeah.
And I love every bit of it, because it's all nonsense.
That's exactly why I love this car. Everything about it is stupid, it's not practical, it's useless, it's not even the fastest car. But by God, it doesn't put a smile on your face.
I still think I would drive this every single day. If I had it.
would?
I would. I would go through the inconvenience.
How old are you, Josh?
32.
You should be starting to grow out of that now.
Piaggio Porter now.
And I drive it every single day.
Going the other way. I think at some point Josh is going to get crushed by the size of his own car. He's getting that small. This is a fancy wide body stancy thing.
Bespoke designer automotive, I can't remember the actual name of our company.
This
but
is
it's
slammed.
based in Arizona. I done this one-off kind of TDF style wide body work on it. It's cool. To me, it's a little bit too Fast and the Furious.
How old are you actually now that you're showing your age?
I still own an S15 though. Come on, I'm real Fast and the Furious.
Can anybody spot the Irish person's car here? Hey,
I was getting all of them and then that.
Things were only rare in life for two reasons. They were either fucking really shit when they came out or really expensive. That's the only thing that makes things rare.
That's a red one, which is pretty rare.
Yeah, and it's a factory red one. It was an NA car and we turboed it. I've always been a chassis guy my whole life. I found this, I had 22,000 kilometers on it. Wow. Absolutely pristine. And then a good friend of mine by the name of Liam Dorn came into town for a night and blew the quarter panel off it. Give us a drive of that then, Ted. Went down around the corner and came
Liam
back
Brand,
up.
as advertised.
Came back up. Sorry, mate.
A lot of people from the Irish drift scene that have gone abroad over the last while, and you guys, like, it's so funny to me how I go, like, you have, you know, you here driving around in all these hypercars, you have James Dean in a Mustang. Like, imagine saying that 10 years ago. Like, everyone who's come out has kind of gone these different paths. But it's super cool for us as an Irish channel to go and catch up with you, catch up with all the boys and see just how things are going. And like, you never thought when you first went to Formula Drift driving an S14, just giving it a go, that, how many, 10 years later, 15 years later, you'd be...
October 2009.
From 2009, Took a dream, went to the States, and like, it's surrounded by this every day. And the worst thing is that when we go visit our friends all over the world, this is not surprising because everyone just ends up in these car places, and the story behind it is almost as interesting as the cars themselves. So we're going to see Dean at the track. We're going to go to the track in Bakersfield tonight, but we'll see you there anyway because you're driving this weekend.
Friday.
And it was great to see it.
Absolutely, man.
Outside of the event, outside of him, because like, you can't get him out of the Viper because he's just wedged in there. He's stuck in there. They put him in the shop here. They actually bring him in the trailer, and then they have to disassemble the whole car to get him out of it after the race. So we'll see you in Bakersfield. We're going to head back on the road. We got about a 2.5 hour drive to the track, and then we're going to catch up with the rest of the boys that are there. What is up, guys? We are here. It is Kern Raceway. We are doing an event in California for Grammy Award winners, Formula Drift drivers, influencers, content creators. Well, I don't know why we're in the middle of all this, but if you look at the driver grid, this is a wild event for us to do. So we're here with the man of the moment, T-Pain.
Hey, man.
This guy won his first ever competitive battle yesterday, which is like, I don't think me, Josh, no one's done that before. That was, and you were in pretty much a street car.
I'm in a street car. 100%. I'm just in a street car with an angle kit, but I'm out there having fun, man. You know, that's what it's all about, you know?
And I said yesterday, I was like, the minute he wins this first battle, it's all downhill from here. He's going to get sucked in and sucked in.
I'm in, man.
More competitive cars, more grip.
I'm ready, man. Rico Rick is coming back.
It's so funny for us to watch someone come from such a different world into drifting. Like, and I mean a completely different world.
Completely different.
And how have you been enjoying it so far? How the community, everything?
Man, everybody's been so cool. Everybody's so accepting, so nice. And nobody, you know, I was fearful to come into the community because obviously there are people who are just rich asshats that just come in and just buy a car and just run it into walls because they can. But you know, I wanted everybody to know that I'm not one of those people. This is really a passion for me. I'm in here, I'm at the comps, I'm in the comps, I'm doing everything, you know, so to see the acceptance and to see, you know, the camaraderie, I mean, I mean, look, you know, this is, you know what I mean? I'm about the community, baby. I'm starstruck out here. Everybody talking about me.
We've been in the game for 10 years. We've met everybody from across the world, but nobody has ever rocked a chain on the race suit quite like this. Brother,
Gotta have
fun today.
Thank you,
enjoy.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing his progress over the next couple of years. Just when you put the last one on, just kick it over. We need someone to drive through.
That wasn't even a flinch there.
That was my...
Oh no, stop, don't!
So I say this is definitely one of the most unique cars to the grid this weekend.
There is a lot of crazy stuff in America, but this might be one of the craziest of them all. So this is Timofey's car, and it's a Chevrolet Monte Carlo, but it's actually not. Here, I'll let him explain. So everything about this car for me is why, right? Why? So it is, am I right in saying it's a Monte Carlo on top of a JZX?
600. Yeah.
Underneath, put a Monte Carlo on top of it,
Body swap. Yeah.
and a 2JZ. Where did the idea for this come?
I want to make something different. You know, everybody drifts Silvias, BMWs, Chasers, and also I love the design of square G-body. And I just checked dimensions of the wheelbases, everything, and it fits.
Can we pop the hood? Because I want to see how you made it fit.
That's crazy. That's
JZX turrets. So the JZX is here, and you weld it on the Monte Carlo. Even though it might not be the most competitive, it definitely puts the most smiles on everybody's face when they see it coming.
For sure. Everybody loves this car, and that's why I also want to make it looks like NASCAR car. You know, that it's a beautiful livery. I do it for fun. It's not for competition.
What's the dashboard from?
S13.
JZX chassis, Monte Carlo body, Supra engine, S13 dashboard, converted to left-hand drive. You're a crazy man. And he's out there drifting this 101 car like it's worth nothing. Everywhere, on the walls, everything. So I can't wait to see a few more laps of this thing. My favorite car of the whole event, for sure.
I'm also just going to point out some of the sponsors on here. So we have Vikings, Nashville, Bud, that's nuts, Budweiser, and Strap-on. So funny ass livery on a NASCAR style livery.
Look who we found in the paddock.
What's up, guys?
So this is a man who was, we're gonna have to get, every time we announced that we were doing our drift Lamborghini, there was one name that came up, and it was your drift Lamborghini.
Yeah, we've been working on this to eventually in stages be a full-blown drift Huracan. Right now we're in the stage of we've installed a rally style shifter and we've removed the paddles. So now you can turn the wheel and not have to try to reach behind to upshift or whatever. You just pull the lever. We do have a hydro brake in here, but it only works when you're in first gear. And the reason being is it's a DCT transmission. It's all stock Lamborghini. V10, DCT transmission, and the car's programmed that if you're slowing down, it automatically gears down. So if you pull the hydro right now and you're in a higher gear, it'll basically put the car in first, which you don't want.
Like, this is like sitting in a real drift car.
Yeah. And then that's the shifter. Pull the shifter back. And that's the new shifter. How good does that feel?
It feels like a simulator.
Yes.
It's so precise.
Basically took the paddles off and just wired the paddle micro switches to the shifter. So it shifts like,
is that the electronics there?
That's it. So it just shifts like stock. It shifts really fast.
What I love about you guys is we would be afraid to do this to an S14, and you've taken a Huracan and just said, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it has to drift, it has to work, it's built for purpose. To me, the fact that you guys have just jumped into it and said, I'm gonna make this work, doesn't matter how it looks, we'll tidy it up later, we need it to shred tires. It's awesome. And like for the fans here to see something like this, ripping amongst all the stuff they're totally used to, it's such a good addition to the show. So thanks for bringing it down.
It's our pleasure. And if you haven't seen how we remove the dash out of here, I remove it with a machete.
We've been way too, we have been like with a screwdriver on our dashboard.
I took the Lamborghini dash out and I didn't use a machete. I don't feel as rough anymore. I'm sure it was never going to go back to stock. It'll always be the drift Huracan.
We have a phrase in Ireland called, some people should just not have nice things. You might be one of those people.
Definitely one of those people. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys for a second. This is a big fangirl moment for me because DDE is probably the channel I've been watching the longest. So to meet them and go in one of the cars I watch on the channel is pretty epic, to be fair.
There you go. All right, let's go.
Ready? We can drive the bank a little. shifter and handbrake is cool, right? Cheers, dude. Got some warning lights on there. TPMS because Tim broke it. Cheers, thank you. No worries. Whew. Something about a sequential shifter and a handbrake in a supercar is just... that was a bit of fun. So I guess it's time to go back to my normal job here and film the rest of the event. So there's one thing left to do, and that's cut to the montage.
Never met a match I couldn't handle. No one else could ever hold a candle.
Finito. Day is done.
I'm pretty dead now, but we're gonna go get some food and some beers. Still enjoying my Dodge Ram.
What's the saying? Dodge Ram. Oh no, he doesn't.
The saying is Dodge Ram. Oh.
I can't remember. There's a lot of sayings.
Let's get some food before we have to do talks on the things. And James is here. Look.
I got the least words.
We're pretty wrecked. It's a pretty tough day.
Yeah, it was long and it was fun. I really enjoyed it, I think. When I wake up, I'm going to enjoy this day in the past.
Pints.
Yes.
Film edit.
Lots of film and edit.
What's up, guys? Before we headed home, we had to come see our boy Mike here at the block. Now, the last time we were here, we were doing donuts and it was Hoonigan.
Yeah.
It's not Hoonigan anymore.
It is not Hoonigan anymore.
You guys have taken the whole place over. We obviously spoke to Damon and Dave at the event. They were like, come down and check it out. And it's crazy how like back to basics it got.
Yeah.
But the cars are still crazy. Probably even crazier now.
That's right. We're saying it's the same shit with cooler cars. So
and not as many of Hertz's cars broken on the ramp.
that's
all
right.
the
We
time.
got rid of all Hertz cars. He's got those. I think he took like a 6-car hauler or something to where he lives now to get all all of his junk out of here.
And also there used to be a big graveyard on that side where there was just Brian Scotto's projects for days.
Dead cars everywhere.
Yeah. And again, some were caused by in this space. But you guys have the space all looking kind of clean and nice. How long are you guys in here now?
Almost 2 months now. So
2 months.
yeah, we've been busy. So yeah, they had the containers here, and that took up a lot of space. But we wanted to put something here where we could drive hard and not drive through the fence and into the neighbor's yard. So we bought a bunch of K-rails and put those up, and yeah, we've turned it into a little drift track back here. So.
I was going to say, they've been stress tested at least.
There's been a couple incidents. That was a Huracan. Yeah. There was a 720, McLaren 720 that was doing donuts out here. It got close a couple times.
I don't know if I mean, whatever about S15s, E46s, when it's those things, that's an expensive mistake.
That's a big difference.
So this is the workshop, and in here is everything looks expensive to us. It's like, this is like something unfamiliar and familiar at the same time, because unfamiliar in the models, but familiar in what you're doing with them, which is making them all.
That's a very Irish.
Very Irish thing happening right now.
Neil, get the cone in the middle.
We're bringing a bit of Ireland. drumstick. This is
Come through, brush his hair out of the way.
hair out of the way. Casual donut.
What's up, Tim?
You know what? You could have taken any car out of this garage, and our fan base would not have been as impressed as seeing an IS whipping around.
Stock.
Stock IS?
That's his daily driver.
If you came to Ireland, we have a competition called King of the Cone, and it's pretty much it's a judged donut competition of mostly IS 200.
It's tidy hoops around the cone.
You would be the king there. It would work. If you want us to bring Tim all the way to Donegal in Ireland to do King of the Cone,
I'll do it.
his audition tape has been accepted. Sorry, I went in to look at Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and then I got dragged back to Ireland. Right.
Unfamiliar, and then familiar arrived.
That's exactly what this place is like. So even though these are all, I mean, a lot of our fan base likes JDM stuff and all that stuff, there's a certain respect here because you're doing what we do to S15s, 14s, and all the two very expensive cars.
Very expensive cars. So yeah, this is different for me too. I did a lot of Porsche race car stuff, and I also did drift car stuff. But now the exotics are getting turned into drift cars. So we've got two 599s now that we put manual conversion kits in them and e-brakes. They're almost done. And those are the block beaters. So those are the cars that we're just gonna shred out here. And then we'll take them out and we'll do road trips and drives with them, you know.
Two Ferraris.
Just a couple of Ferraris. They
just
just sound good.
Yeah.
They just sound good.
You're basically using Ferraris like
that.
Like that.
Yeah.
And that's
Damon's version of
that's
that.
a great time.
It's just leveling up the hooningness.
Yeah,
That's right.
These cars, anywhere in Ireland, especially UK or Europe, the guy, if he got a bird shit on it, would be furious. That would be 2 days of him not speaking to anybody.
Yeah.
And now here you are just ripping him around. And like we saw this thing at
Damon
the
literally drove through paint, so there's paint all over the side of the car now. He's like, oh well.
we laid down that paint. That was the clipping zones on the track. So sorry, Damon.
It's all good. He drove through it though.
He drove through wet paint, and that's technically his fault.
But technically, it's just adding more to the livery. It's it's on there anyways.
Yeah, this thing is so cool. We were saying that like it's the fact that we earlier in the video we talked to Damon, and what I loved about it was that you made it drift like a drifter would. You just went, oh, get rid of that, chop that out, pull that, twist that, done. Now it does its thing. Where you're so used to these cars being so aesthetically
all the
precious.
fit and finish.
Yeah, precious.
Yeah.
They're too precious. Can't touch that. Oh, the button fell out. The car's ruined. This is making them. I don't think anybody in the world right now is doing this level of thrashing. But then again, that's what they're sold on.
Yeah.
They're sold to be performance cars that are reliable, can take a hammering, and most people drive them around at 40 kilometers an hour, just going from hotel to shopping center. At least you guys are basically stress testing them for
Very
Lamborghini
much
and
so.
Ferrari. And then you're doing an engine swap on an AMG GT.
Yeah. So that's a new project of mine. We're gonna. I'm not sure the direction yet. The engine is toast, so we're gonna tear it down and see what's up with it. Maybe build it up. Try to get 1,000 horsepower out of it. Maybe put a GT3 factory wide body
That would be cool.
race car kit on it.
I mean, you're an expert. We're not experts. Do you not look into that and just go, what is happening here? 'Cause
That's
that is-
exactly what I thought
that
when I
is
pulled it out.
That is a very complex looking engine. When you take like 2000 stuff or even the 10 stuff, this is like 750 things going on at one time. Pipes everywhere.
There's so much packed into that space.
It looks like
is-
you actually crushed an engine into a cube.
Exactly.
There's that much in there, and everything is so like such a small amount of gap between everything. When you go to modify it, I'm sure it's a nightmare, but you get used to it, right? The only way you can do it is pull it out. And
You
try
pull it out, and you can't just pull the engine. You have to pull the front subframe, the engine, the torque tube, the transmission. This whole assembly has to
It's
come
a
out.
German
to work on
Corvette.
everything. Exactly.
The whole thing has to come out. Well, Mike, thank you so much for showing us around. We really appreciate it. We just wanted to call in before we go because we watch the channel, we watch all the builds, and just to come in and see them in the flesh, we're obviously fans of everything in automotive culture. And this trip has been a lot of very wild things for us, from seeing Damon and Dave to coming here to meeting T-Pain to all this. And in the middle of that, there was a drift event.
Yeah.
And full of Formula Drift drivers.
Yeah.
And we were saying it was so funny that 10 years ago, I queued in Irwindale for an autograph session at FD, and then there I was like judging and commentating on all you guys back out there, you, Odie, all that. It was just such a full circle moment for me. So a wild event. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Poor Josh has been running around for 4 days trying to condense this into one video. Don't even know what's in it anymore. But hope you guys enjoy it. But on the next episode, Mike, we're jumping into our Lamborghini build, our drift build. So
I am excited to see that.
2JZ, angle kit from FDF, Liberty Walk wide body, custom 3-piece wheels, and we have 2 weeks to finish it because it is going to Dub Shed in Northern Ireland in 2 weeks from today, which will be less than 2 weeks when this video goes out, and it's still shell. So I'm going to be worried all the way through that, but you guys are going to see the whole process, and hopefully we can get it there. And I know Josh, Craig, all the boys are going to be busy, but if you guys can do it, hopefully we can do it as well.
Just get busy.
We gotta
get on it.
We gotta get back to the airport, get back to Ireland. See you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching.